welcome to another segment on KCYP 97.7 FM, The City. I'm your host for today, Lizette Martinez, and I am super excited because today I have a very special guest. She's not only a coworker, but she is a special friend of mine, and her name is Miss Diana Bernal. Welcome to the show, Diana.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you for having me tonight.
So, we just had the art walk event here at the McAllen Creative Incubator, and it's so neat to see a lot of her performances live and vendors and such. And I was very excited when you told me that you were going to be performing tonight. So I said, well, let's bring her onto the show and let's have her share with our viewers and our listeners, to just share with us a little bit more about what happened tonight. So it's a form of dance that you performed. Can you tell us what it's called and what is it all about?
Yes, tonight I did aerial dance. So I've always been kind of a dancer, but I let it go for a while. But I'd never tried the aerial types. I'm like, I wonder what it entails. So once I started going, I saw there was different ways they can do it, different apparatuses. They have the silks, they have the hammock, they have the lyra, which is what I did tonight. And really what it entails is incorporating the music you like and learning skills like tricks. And once you know how to do those tricks, you can put basically steps, choreography to it. And once you're very self-secure about what you're doing, then you just let yourself go into the music with the steps and the tricks and all of that. So I never done that before. I had done like regular dancing, but not aerial dance. And it takes a lot of coordination, strength, flexibility, and just memorization too. You have to be very focused to do it because you're up in the air. So if you're not careful, you could fall, you could get really hurt or injure yourself.
Yes.
So that's today I did the lyra apparatus. It's like a circle looking.
And how do you feel like in the moment when you're there? Suspended in the air and you're rotating and you're like, what do you feel?
I feel like I can be me. And I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm not thinking about what happened yesterday, what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not even thinking about the people around me. I'm just in the moment. And like all these endorphins start to come out and you hear the music and you just kind of let go. So it's a great way like of therapy and then, self-soothing. So it feels just, adrenaline. It's really fun. Like I recommend people to try something like that because they'll really enjoy it. You forget about everything.
And that was like my next question, like how when you notice you're taking the classes, do you talk to the other women that are taking the classes, like before, during, or after, or what have been some of their comments taking classes like this?
Well, we're all a little bit scared, right? We're like, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Like, oh, I wonder, like, if it's gonna come out. It's really just taking a leap of faith. Like, you don't know if you're gonna do it. You don't know. You just take the jump and you just grab on. And for the most part, we can do more than we think we can actually, like, we can do. Our bodies are amazing. There's a way to do it, so as long as you're, following the steps. And I think we're all a little bit insecure. I'm looking at somebody else and I'm like, wow, her form looks perfect. She's so flexible. And whereas they're looking at me and they're like, wow, she's so strong. And we both kind of compliment each other. We're like, well, you did amazing. And we cheer each other up. So it builds a great community, a lot of empowerment within each other.
And I think there's so many different activities that are out there. It's just a matter of us knowing where to go. Right? Because you had mentioned you had taken some other classes before. What are some of the other classes you've tried?
Well, I've been kind of on a self-discovery journey in the last few months, but so we can talk about it a little bit more. I was like, you know what? I kind of stopped doing things that I used to do. So I started taking flamenco classes locally. Okay. I did not know we even had like adult classes. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to flamenco. I've also been taking like some chair dance classes, just regular dance. I've been even taking some hip hop dance fitness classes here locally as well. They're all women owned and they're all small business owners. So for me, it's great to help them. And then the aerial dance as well is like a small business and woman owned. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of things in the community for women and for adults in general to do. We just need to, start looking and start trying. Usually the first classes are free. So like,
Right.
let's go try the free classes everywhere.
Right. Yes.
And you'll find the thing you like the most. And I think it'll really stick out, like, and you'll keep going all the time.
That's awesome. And what about your colleagues and friends? What do they say about, you mentioned, it's so important to take time for yourself. And a lot of times I feel that when we're little, we have these hobbies, we have these interests, and sometimes our parents are able to, sign us up for classes, and sometimes, we have to find those free promotions out there and try different things that interest us. And then as we get older, we have more responsibilities, right? You become a mom.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of us forget, who we are, right?
Yes.
And so we stop discovering, or we stop trying to perfect a craft or an interest that maybe we had when we were younger.
Yeah.
So we kind of forget that part of ourselves because we're so tuned into giving that energy to other people, right? In our family. And so like anything, how do you feel that that's important, for us to go back to that, as women?
Right now that I've been taking all these classes, I've been posting a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, and I've been posting on my story on Facebook. And the thing that women have been telling me the most is that, oh, wow, how do you find the time? I don't even remember what I was like before I was a mom, a wife. I just don't have anything for myself. Like, I got lost into motherhood. And not just one, like a lot of women have told me that. I'm like, no, you need to, like, have a balance. Yes, it's great to be a mom, a wife, everything, but before that you were an individual,
right?
So I think finding that time and showing your kids, hey, your mom, your wife, she's a person that has interests and hobbies. That's very important. And other colleagues have come out and supported me tonight. You did, and other friends. Yes. And they're like, wow, that's so good for you that you're doing all these things. Like, I wish I would. And I've been inviting people, and you need to come join me. You need to come try a class. And I think we need to have more of that as women. We're not very good about pouring into our own cups. Like, we just give to other people and we never pour into ourselves. So I think we need to find time to do things we used to enjoy, like you mentioned earlier.
Yes. That's very important. So where do you see yourself, 5, 10, 15 years down the road? Like, any like, I know you mentioned you have a bucket list.
Yes.
So do you want to share with our listeners and viewers, what are some other things you have coming up in the future?
Well, for my bucket list for this year, I had some personal goals that I've been postponing. Like, I'm like, oh, I'll do it later because I have kids, or there's not enough budget, or there's not enough time. But, I kind of had an epiphany a few months ago, and some friends went through like some things, adversity. Like, life is unpredictable. It could end in any given day, any given month. Why am I going to keep postponing this? I need to do it now. And I encourage everybody to, have a bucket list, have something like, what, a deadline. I'm going to do this within the next 3 months. So some of those items are like taking photo shoots that I had never done before. I'm like, people probably, why is she taking pictures? Well, because I want to. And it's because it's memories. Your kids, that's the only thing they're going to have to look back at when you're not here anymore. And your grandkids, leaving a digital footprint, that's going to be something that's going to stay on. Another few items on my bucket list are taking different classes. Supporting small businesses, doing some charity work, like just different things that you just think, oh, I'll do it some other time. Applying for a different education plan, like continuing higher education.
Yes, which, by the way, congratulations, you recently got a master's, right?
Yes.
So
this
lady is amazing. She's done a lot. And she's very dedicated in her work.
Thank you.
She has a heart of gold, really.
Oh, thank you.
And so kudos to you, because
thank you, friend.
To have that kind of job, which I know is very, very demanding, because we both work in education, particularly with children who have special needs. So we work with teachers, we work with kids, we work with parents and other administrators. So aside from that, she completed her master's degree as well.
Yes.
And so, I mean, wow, you've just done so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
so
Yes.
super proud of you.
Thank you. Yes. No, it's important to think of yourself. You don't have to be just one thing. You don't have to just be a mom. You don't have to just be a wife or an employee, or you can be, or spiritually, you can be a spiritual person, you can be entrepreneur, you can be empowered, you can be anything you want to be.
Exactly.
And balance it all. As long as you feel happy, that's the most important part. So yeah, our job is like, I love what we do. Like, it's such a good feeling to work with the kids, and when they're happy, I feel happy. So sometimes I'm like, I need some endorphins. I'm gonna go pick up a student.
Right.
And it's just such a great environment. I think they really need us. So I'm glad to be part of the team with you.
Yes. So anything else you want to add? Any words of encouragement or a life motto that you live by?
Just don't get discouraged by anything that comes into life. Sometimes we have hard things going on, and even though it's difficult, get through it. Like, you know what? I'm gonna get up. I might not feel great, but I'm gonna put makeup on. I'm gonna cheer myself up, and I keep going. I'm gonna keep doing the things that I was supposed to be doing, even though this is happening. Because sometimes I think we get so afflicted with things that are happening. Lack of resources, lack of friendships, relationships, or whatnot, that we stop, and we shouldn't wait. Like, we shouldn't put our life in a standstill. We should keep moving forward. And girls, I tell you, you can be everything and anything you want to be. Just make sure it's coming from your heart, and it's something you enjoy and that makes you happy. And it's just gonna project, and people are gonna be able to see it, and you're gonna feel happy. That's what matters.
Yes. And also, I think never be afraid to reach out for help, right?
Yes,
I mean, because sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves, and we want to put up like a tough facade to be strong, the strong women that we are for our family and for our loved ones. But I think also knowing when you actually need to seek out help, whether that's medical or any other professional help out there. The resources that are there, you just have to, be humble and say, you know what, this is already over my limits and I need, extra guidance.
And talk to someone, like, call the hotlines, call a friend, call a colleague, go to church, whatever religion you have. And, that will make things easier too. It's okay to cry it out one day. It's okay to have a rest day with ice cream. But after that, recoup and keep going, and seek out the help and the therapy, counseling, whatever it might be that you need. But don't let that discourage you from doing other things too. So.
Yes. Well, I want to thank you so much. It's been so lovely talking to you.
To you too. Thank you for having me.
I hope that you come back, and next time you check off something else on your bucket list, you come back and share with us.
Yes, I am excited to do the next bucket list item.
Right? All right. Well, that's all we have for today. And I continue to encourage you to stay tuned as we continue to bring more interesting and lovely people from all across the Rio Grande Valley. Thank you so much, and have a great